The song Tenderly is really a great song, and this is going to be a beginner video. And of course, I'll put a little bit of advanced stuff at the end like I usually do. A viewer suggested that I start a new playlist specifically for beginners, and I am going to follow his suggestion. I think that's an excellent idea. So what I'm going to do first is just go through the song, playing the melody with the right hand, the chords with the left hand, and there are a few places where the melody gets so low that we're going to have to use open voicings, where the notes are kind of spread out a little bit so they don't get too muddy down here in the bass. I'm going to play the chords one note at a time because I'm not using chordy today, so I want you to be able to see and hear every note in each chord. Now, there will be many ways to improve the way you play a song like this by spreading out the chords, but you have to be able to play a song just using these kind of basic chords with the left hand and be able to hear the harmony, understand it, and enjoy it. It sounds good. If you are watching videos about drop two and the altered dominant and all this kind of stuff, and you can't just play a song with the chords in the left hand and the melody in the right hand and appreciate it for how good it can just sound just that way. If you're not at that level yet, then stop watching those drop two videos and just concentrate on the basics, okay? That's what I did when I was learning. I had never heard of drop two anyway. So, E flat major seventh, A flat seventh, and we're not going to pay any attention to ninths, 11ths, or 13ths. The biggest number we're going to pay attention to is 7. So here's A flat dominant seventh. And many times the melody note will be that higher number. In this case, the melody note is the sharp 11, just as in this chord. Our melody note is E flat, is the ninth, and our chord is E flat minor seventh. It can say 9, but any number greater than 7 means a seventh chord first. So when it says A flat 13th, we're just going to play A flat 7th. So we've got E flat minor 9 here. And I'll just play, I don't know, I guess an A flat 7th like this. So that is actually spread out a little bit. I guess I could have done this, but it's just a little too low for all those notes. So left one note out and put it up here. And here, again, the melody's very low. So I need a third. There's the major seventh. We'll leave out these chords in the parentheses. Now, the melody is still really low here. And here's kind of an interesting fact you may or may not know. If you have a minor 7 flat 5 chord, in most old charts and music, you will never see this chord. You will see A flat minor 6th. So that's what we're going to do here. And we're going to play A flat minor 6 this way with the root, the 5th, and the 6th. And the melody note is actually the 3rd of the chord. So this is a spread voicing, but there's just no way to play F minor 6 down or F minor 7 flat 5 here. It's just too low. That's too low. And you see I have two Bs, so I'll just get rid of that one. And that's the way we're going to play it. And then B flat 7th. And a diminished chord, just slide that B there. C minor. F7. could invert that B flat or just play it in root position. You just need to put some stuff to fill in there. Just move the F up to F sharp. C seventh. Now, I said any number over 7 we're going to ignore. That's a sharp 5 there. We could put it in, but the melody is going to put it in for you right there. So you could just leave it out maybe. And you probably don't want to play the 5 because it'll clash with that melody. So a lot of dominant 7th chords. Leave the 5 out. And I'll invert. Okay, now I promised a few advanced things. So, I've been working on a little arrangement. I haven't really written any arrangements for a while, and I'm not finished with this one. But this gives you kind of an idea of, some of the things you can do once you get the basic chords down. So I just like the sound of triads. The great pianist Bill Evans would do things like that from time to time, and I've been listening to him a lot. So let me take just a few seconds while I'm messing around with this arrangement to give you a few words of advice. All right? So to play jazz, of course, you have to listen to jazz, and I would suggest listening to, kind of more traditional jazz, Miles Davis, John Coltrane, Keith Jarrett, Bill Evans. There's so many great artists from the past. Art Tatum is one of my favorites. Stuff that was done in the 40s, the 50s. Some bebop, some swing and traditional jazz. But even more important, I think, is to listen to music from the past that isn't jazz, like classical music, Broadway show music, anything that you really like, religious music, spirituals, because these are the things that you're going to be emotionally connected to and draw upon to create jazz. Because, what is jazz? It's taking a song and playing it wrong. At least that's what Spinal Tap says. It's taking a song and embellishing it, playing around with it, having fun with it. And you got to have something to draw on. So go back and listen to all your favorite music. All right, so here's my little arrangement, what I've got so far. I like to add little things like that. So it's helpful to me to write out a few ideas, just something to kind of hang my hat on. And then, once I start kind of feeling comfortable with the notes I've put down, then I kind of start playing around with that. And I end up with a more of an improvised arrangement. But at least I've got a few good ideas I can fall back upon. So it's really just a bunch of chicken scratch at this point, but I'll take a picture of it and stick it down there in the description. I really appreciate the people that support this channel, and you can do that in a variety of ways. Of course, one of these. A great thing to do is just leave a comment, and I don't care what it is, and I try to respond to as many as I can. So leaving a comment really helps. And of course, there's always Patreon and PayPal that does help me out quite a bit as well. So until next time, take care, everyone.